Hello, everyone. Today I wanted to talk about uh, being the space for others, um, to allow them to be as they are. Um, because, of course, whenever um, you are practicing any type of spiritual practice, the most difficult part of the practice becomes when you are interacting with others, um, and interacting with other ego entities. It's kind of bad enough that you have um, your own ego that you need to catch and allow certain aspects of yourself to be able to flow and but the real challenge is being that space for others as well. And that's really when you can know that you're on solid footing with that particular challenge, when you can recognize the situation as, aha, I am here to be the space for this person, regardless of what happens, and not having any type of agenda on what should happen. Um, in the role that I would say that I find probably the most challenging would be as a parent to my children, specifically probably my son right now, who's almost 3. He's 2, and going through. Um, uh, I wouldn't say they're terrible twos, but I can understand why people would say that. And it's just because they are experiencing those emotions and for the first time, probably. Some of these emotions that are coming through, or if not the first time, they are starting to get more familiar with these emotions, but they're still very powerful for them, and they don't have the cognitive sense right now to be able to override that. And to be honest, there's a lot of similarities between that and people. I mean, people to maybe a slightly lesser extent um, fall right in line with that as well, where their emotions take them over and then they are not there anymore. So it's an exaggerated form of what you're seeing in reality anyway, is what you're seeing with a 2-year old. And the emotion that erupts out of, of course, my son is such that um, I guess it's a little more surprising to me. It was not exactly that way with my daughter, so um, I've definitely been challenged with that. But um, I have been able to, um, and even just this tonight, um, he didn't want to put his pajamas on, and just started crying, and we're potty training him, and he didn't want to use the bathroom, and he's just crying in the corner and crying and crying, and I started to realize that he can't calm down on his own right now. There are times where I've been able to tell him, you need to calm down, take a breath, and calm down. But at that moment, that emotion was so powerful, he was not able to calm down. So it was my job to be the calm one for him, and and to just wait. I mean, that emotion can't last forever, so I'll just be the calm one, and and allow him the space to get that emotion out for as long as he needs. I mean, and to just be there and just be quiet, not have thoughts in my head, just quiet, observing, just being there. And that's just being there for my son. And it's something that I've been able to do very easily at my work when I'm confronted with claustrophobic patients in MRI. That's always very easy because there's no emotional uh, tie between myself and the patient. So it's very easy for me to be the space for them and allow them to have the emotions that they have, help if it's needed, if not to allow them options, to, either going to the open magnet, getting meds, things like that, but not really having an agenda one way or another, allowing them to be where they are and respect where they are. That's very easy for me. A little bit harder, I would say, with my son because there is an emotional tie there. But the same thing applies. Is you have to recognize that there's going to be a dominant pull one way or another. We are all the same consciousness filtered through these bodies. And then there's an interaction that's going on between individuals. And through that interaction with individuals, there's going to be a dominant energy there. And you have to decide, are you going to be the dominant energy and be the space to allow this interaction to be, or is the ego going to take over and that is going to be the dominant reaction, which is the most common and prevalent reaction on this planet. So really, it's the new consciousness. Are you going to allow the new consciousness to come through, or is the old going to continue to rule this planet? And so, because of course, all of that, the ego mind is all recycled conflicts and things that are, you know, there's very little free will in there at all. It's just constantly a battle of suffering, which is designed to wake you up and allow that new consciousness to come through. So it's only when there isn't any emotion there and you can allow that space to be there for that, then you find this kindness that comes through naturally. And my son was, uh, after that, um, he cried for a little bit, and I was just quiet and just allowed him to be. And he's used to it now with my interaction with him. Then after when he's ready, he'll come up to me and he'll just kind of sit in my lap, and and so then I'm able to talk to him because I know he's back now. I know I'm not talking to the emotion now because the emotion wouldn't have been able to come to me. My son would be able to come to me and sit with me. And so then I'm able to talk to him and just tell him, you need to you need to use the bathroom and you got to get your pajamas on. And, come on, you can do it. And of course, he went to the potty and used the bathroom, and I congratulated him. And it's this beautiful interaction that I have um, with my son. Um, this is something that um, I know is a new form of consciousness that I am um, cultivating in our family life, which was not available for me. It's something that I was able to overcome through some of the some of my own family struggles and insecurities and things. But there must have been some space in me at some point that I knew that if I were to stay in that family environment, that I wouldn't be able to grow. And so I definitely left and moved far away from my direct family, and ultimately it's been very beneficial for me, because I do understand that I guess I can look further along the line, whereas of course negative behaviors, they can tend to um, um repeat themselves and through generations, until somebody is able to awaken out of that that cycle. But once you're able to awaken from the cycle here, and I'm able to raise my children in a much more conscious way, I don't know how their family life will be, but I doubt that it would be um, in a more ego way. I'm sure they will have some ego things that they will have to deal with, but um, I would think that they are starting on a much better footing than what I started with, and so I'm very um, I guess I'm excited about that aspect of that, and interested too, interested in how the how actions that I'm doing now, how that will affect future generations, um, in not only my family, but maybe the others that they will interact with in the world. So, so I guess it's just very important um, to just understand that that not all interactions are going to be smooth, just because maybe inside your own mind and consciousness may be very calm. You're going to be challenged, and you should be challenged too. If you weren't challenged, then you couldn't grow uh, from where you are. And there should be a constant evolution, a constant growth that's happening. Um, the whole system is growing. And so there are certain challenges that you just can't learn from just sitting in a cave and just being with yourself. You have to interact with others who are unconscious and not able to um, help themselves. You're there to be the space for them. Thank you everyone for watching, and take care.